We're trying to build a business essentially that I think all of us wanted when we were younger. The kind of brand that we wanted around the kind of access to products that we wanted. We're trying to basically get that to India and build sustainable business around street culture, sneaker and streetwear.
I think like Param said, I think more than anything, it was wanting to do something we truly love. I think all of us had done what we were supposed to do work-wise before this. For example, I was in marketing for 10 years before, and I was at several ad agencies. And then the idea was to build something from scratch, be able to grow something and, something that we are truly passionate about.
Coming from this is my first ever job, career, life choice, anything. I was studying law. In general, I was just straight out of college. This is the first thing that I've been doing. Sneakers have always been a part of my life. Since I was, I think, 13 is when I actually bought first sneaker of myself, which I still have a picture of that sneaker on somewhere on my Instagram. And I was like, oh, this is an opportunity where I can actually work to make something that I'm actually interested in.
Solesearch, founded in 2021, is a marketplace for limited edition sneakers, streetwear, accessories, and collectibles. The brand was founded by 33-year-old Param Minas, who already has some experience with startups, and 25-year-old law graduate Prabal Paghel, and later it was joined by actor Ranvijay Singh with the idea to do something that they are passionate about. In the first funding round in May this year, the brand raised rupees 6.5 crore from venture catalyst Akhil Ventures, Cornerstone, Venture Partners Fund, Rohan Nishojan, and others who participated in the funding round. Solesearch launched their first store in Mumbai last month and one more collaborative store in Hyderabad as well. In fact, as per the founders, the company is clocking 7 figures in their first year and has grown 4 times since their inception. When you started from now, what has the growth been like, and where are you, where are you headed for the year as respect to guidance in terms of sales, revenue or profit?
No, I'll take that. Obviously, when we started initially, this was around about a year ago, we were doing just around about 30-40 lakhs in revenue off our Instagram page. And we literally doubled that the day we launched our website. We've been growing month on month ever since. Growth hasn't stopped. I think this month we're on course to do 2.5 CR easy. I'm not sure if, easily. And this year we are on course to do almost 25-30 CR in revenue. In GMV, our margins obviously raise from 10% to 40% depending on what we're selling. And so does our profits. We were running as a break-even operation till the time we received our funding because we wanted to grow conservatively. But now that we've received our funding, we are pushing some money towards our marketing, towards our stores, towards expansion. We are launching an application soon, which is mostly been what we're focused on.
So on the platform right now, how much of your product clientele is based out of sneakers and how much of it is on streetwear? And what does the profit margin looks for both of them?
Again, profit margin raises depending on how what the product is. But again, for both of these, it ranges from around about 10 to 50% unless we're manufacturing our own product. Once we manufacture our own product, the profit margins rise considerably. But these are P2P transactions where all we need to do is a liaison in the middle. So there's not a lot of work to be done for like a 10 to 50% profit margin. How it's dedicated is, I think, 80 to 85% of our inventory and our major sales still are sneakers, and that's by design because we want to be known first as a player that has dominated sneakers as a category.
Being a startup and being an entrepreneur in India, like everyone is becoming an entrepreneur these days, but it also comes with like a lot of challenges. So what are a few challenges that you saw as a brand, and then we'll like go on talking more about the brand. What are a few challenges that you saw in your journey?
So I think one of the first things that we focused on when the business started, and the business didn't start as a business, right? The business started as a community on Instagram. The next task was, how do we build a platform? Do we just build a Shopify website? Do we build a platform that is actually unique and offers, engagement and features that traditionally you can't get on a Shopify platform?
I mean, obviously they're from the team and the business side as well, but they're obviously a huge challenge raising money for a for a startup in a very new space, for a market that hasn't essentially proved itself, for essentially an idea that this will be big, and to find people who believe in that, and to find people who can see the vision beyond just month-on-month numbers, where they can realize that in 3 or 4 years, if you actually build a brand for youth, if you build something that the youth relate to and find cool, you can end up selling them almost anything. I mean, and then they wouldn't even question buying it from you. They would be loyal to you. How do you build loyalty among the youth in a country where there is no loyalty for any brand? All youth basically jumps from, or everybody, all customers jump from whatever's the cheapest. I don't think any brand has built this core loyal users or a community that swears by it, and would prefer it even if the other alternative is cheaper or different. So the idea here is for us to obviously stand by most of the things that our customers stand by, speak the language that our customers speak, build for our customers, not just whatever will make us the most money, and do things that actually build a community and strengthen the brand, rather than just chase growth unnecessarily. Yeah. So finding people who believe in that is obviously a challenge from my end, because I'm the person who has to do most of the fundraising.
For the first 2 years of our business, and we were bootstrapped. So we started with zero capital, and we functioned and for the first 2 years without a single penny of investment, which was the biggest.
Which was difficult, absolutely difficult, right? Because some of the other players in this space did raise investments, and they did have some sort of a backing, but we had to figure it out completely ourselves. It was completely run by what we were generating.
So the challenges that you face in order to build a business at every step of the way obviously cause a lot of mental trauma to you. You don't have time for yourself. You don't have time for your friends. You don't have time to actually have a good work-life balance, because anybody who's doing the business who knows that for the next 4 or 5 years, this is his life and this is what he's all going to do. So yes, I mean, just putting yourself completely and thoroughly and devoting yourself to this one idea obviously comes with a lot of flip side. Yes, if it works, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and yes, there are rewards to reap. But what if it doesn't? And that is 95% of the cases, right? Like, and that's, I think, the hardest bit, to be hit by failure, to get down and realize that the last 3 or 4 years where you've dedicated pretty much everything in your life to hasn't resulted in anything. And the hardest bit is to actually get up and do it all over again. Right? You either quit, you pick a job, but that's where the strength comes from, is like, if you want to do it all over again, learn from your mistakes, try and do it better this time around, knowing that even if you do it 100% to your ability, there are a lot of factors which are not in control, that can still not get you the outcome that you desire. So just letting go, the art of actually just letting go and doing it just for the pure joy of the process of doing it, is something that is hard to learn, and is something that comes with experience and a lot of failure and a very, very Zen mind, I guess. Yeah. But to get there are a lot of struggles. It takes a lot to get there.
The increasing sneaker hype in India has also helped the brand to grow. From street fashion to investment opportunities, the rise of sneaker culture in India has taken the nation by storm, which is captivating enthusiasts and entrepreneurs to build a business out of this piece of footwear.
So, just talking about sneakers in general. So I think you guys mentioned that, now there are 21-year-olds who are like earning 4 or 5 lakhs per month by just selling sneakers on the platform. So when it comes to your own personal experience or with the company itself, what's the most expensive sale that you have made, sale or resell, as I should put it forward? What's the most expensive sale or resell that you have made with respect to sneakers?
So the most expensive sneaker we've ever sold would be the Louis Vuitton Air Force One sneaker. and they go anywhere between 6 lakh to 10 lakhs in the market. So it's the same price as a car, right? So on the day of our launch, on 8th June, when we launched our store, the first night, people started lining up outside the store from 12:30 a.m.
And the store was going to open the next
And
day
the
at
store was
12
going to
p.m.
open next day at 12 p.m. And people started lining up the previous night.
How many people were there? If you could
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So I think between 12:30 to 3, there were about 50 odd people. But 50 odd people outside here. So our store is, in Khar. And the area where we are located has a lot of crowd because of other restaurants. So there were about 50, 60 people lined up, and we had to ask them to go home simply because of the BMC and the police issues that we would get into. So we asked them to go home and start lining up in the morning. So by the time we reached the store at 10 a.m. the next day, there were 160 people who had lined up outside, and we had to give everyone tokens and send them upstairs to sit at Rasta, where we are located. And we gave out 200 tokens before our store opened at 12 p.m. So 200 people were waiting to buy the launch offers that we had in place, all the launch cool stuff that we were doing on launch day. So we had about 200 people lining up. And this lining up happened for the next 3 days.
To many people outside, though, the sneaker reselling market might seem like a market for rich kids, and that's not true, as per Solesearch consumer base.
And speaking of accessibility, yes, I don't think this is a market only just for rich kids. You'd be surprised how many of our customers and how many of our sellers come from tier 2 and tier 3. Cities that you would never imagine would have any kind of sneaker culture or even the knowledge of sneaker culture are actually turning out to be the biggest hubs of it. Places like Ahmedabad, places like Dehradun, places like Jaipur, Chandigarh, Jalandhar, all these small cities are actually quite the hub for sneaker culture. A lot of our vendors are coming there as well. A lot of our vendors come from the middle class, they are not rich kids, because they see it as an avenue to make money, to hustle. And it's giving them, at least the college kids, an opportunity to hustle. And what's the starting, how much capital do you need to start this business? $10,000, right? You need $10,000 to buy your first pair of sneaker and flip it for maybe like 5,000 more. And a lot of people have done that as young kids. And I know 21, 22-year-old kids who are making 8 to 10 lakhs, maybe even more, just doing trading of sneakers. We actually work with some of them. So to have my vendor who is, maybe making more money than me, be a 20-year-old guy who we taught selling sneakers to, it's a joyous feeling. It's an absolute joyous feeling. There are actually women in the scene who are selling sneakers. One of our biggest success stories was a woman in Jammu who literally sold sneakers on Solesearch. We weren't even a monetized platform at that point in time. We were just giving them access to customers, and they literally sold sneakers. And she told us that, she paid her medical bills, among medical bills, by like selling sneakers, right? So it's not just a rich people thing. I think people need money all around. It's the rich people who buy the 8 to 10 lakh things, but you'd be surprised that could be a business too. And you could supply from here to the rest of the world as well. You could the opportunities are endless as long as the market exists. So and it's not a gatekeep market anymore, and that's what we're trying. We're actually trying to disrupt it.